Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Danger of Complacency Part 2, Think Up Podcast, episode number 29. Gotta keep on looking, y'all. I'm getting up there. 29 episodes. It's really been a blessing. I'm glad. Thank you guys for your comments. Thank you for your support. I thank God that this content is blessing you. I pray it's sowing something into your spirit because it's doing something to me too. And I definitely forgive me if I may come across as I'm speaking down to you or speaking as if I don't need this content. The primary fuel that's fueling me to produce this content is I need it. So everything I'm covering is things that I'm consistently striving to do and overcome myself. So I pray it's blessing you. Thank you guys for the comments, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. So this is the Danger of Complacency Part 2. So in this part, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I'm consistently doing to break free from my own complacency. I just want to read you guys a quote. It's out of a book called The Bravest You. It's a book by, his name is Adam Kirk Smith. And the book is called The Bravest You. It says, complacency or playing it safe are silent enemies that can tell us all the reasons why we don't need to keep pressing forward and become better. I really like that quote when I read it. Complacency or playing it safe is the silent enemies that can tell us all the reasons why we don't need to keep pressing forward. And complacency is such a silent killer, as Adam Smith is explaining in the Bravest You book, is because you ain't doing that bad. Think about it. Many of you listen to me ain't homeless. You got food to eat. I pray that your family is doing well. Things are not bad, or things may have not been, things may be better than they used to be for you. And that's a blessing. But again, those of you under the sound of my voice, you know there's greatness in you. I know there's greatness in me. You're not going to embrace that greatness by comparing yourself to the version of you that had no discipline, didn't have God in your life, didn't have the consistency that you have, didn't have the urgency in your spirit to push the gifts and the talents and the purpose and the anointing that God placed in you. Do not compare yourself to the version of you that you know ain't worth being compared to. 12 years ago, before I turned my life over to Christ, about 14 years ago, back in 2008, 2007, before I turned my life over to Christ, man, I smoked, I hang out with people that really wasn't for me. I didn't care much about myself. I went to the club just about every other weekend. I don't live that lifestyle no more, and that's a blessing. But 2021, I'm not going to sit here and compare myself to that version of me and give myself a pat on the back in the sense of that I can stop because, man, look how far I came. By the grace of God, God is showing me that look how far I came, but look what I'm calling you to become. Focus on what God is calling you to become. When you go through trials, tribulations, what I do to come out of complacency is I focus on my goals. When I get frustrated, I focus on my goals. When I'm discouraged, when things don't happen, I focus on my goals. Let me show y'all something. Wasn't planning on doing this, but I got a vision book. And in this book, I write down my goals and my vision for myself, for my family, for the people around me, for those of God is calling me to be connected to. I write down my vision and my purpose and what I believe in God for. I do my best to write it every day. I've been consistent this week writing it every day, but I don't always write it every day. But I got a vision for my spirit man, what I want to do every day, what I want to impart into my boys, how I want to become a better father, a better husband. I got a financial vision. I got a vision even at my current job I'm working at now. Right now I sell cars. I work at the Lexus dealership. I got a vision for that. I got a vision for my writing. I'm learning that you're not going to be consistent in developing the mindset you need to have if you're not serious about your goals. And I learned that you just got to develop that seriousness, or not seriousness. I think a better word is to develop the close relationship with your future self that you know that's representative of the greatness that God is calling out of you, you got to write down your goals, write down your vision. What is God calling out of you? Who are you going to be a year from now? How much are you going to make a year from now? What are you trying to impart into your kids? How are you going to be a better father, a better husband? How are you growing? Focus on your growth. Where are you going? That's such an important question in 2021, because we all know in 2020, when the epidemic hit, we were forced to sit and deal with ourselves. And those of you who was already being consistent on your vision and your goals and your purpose, those of you, y'all came out on top. Not to say that the opportunity is over, but 2021, if you know God is calling something out of you, let it be birthed. Write down your goals, write down your vision. And there's one more thing I wanted to cover that I didn't cover yesterday, because I was telling y'all I didn't have my notes. I wanted to cover discouragement, because I was talking about how we can become complacent on the first version. One of them was discouragement. I wrote down, you may lose your family, may lose friends, and that may make you discouraged. But even though you get discouraged, you got to be consistent. And again, I pray this content is blessing you guys. But again, God is calling us to build a legacy. And a legacy is bigger than you, bigger than your feelings, bigger than your problems, bigger than the things that are trying to stop you. God don't put a vision and a purpose in your heart for it to fall by the wayside just because of a problem. You got to learn to see all problems as opportunities to grow. And yes, that sounds corny, and I know you probably heard that before. But when you come to the realization of that truth in your own personal life, like I'm learning in this season, like I'm a physical hard worker, man. I can work my tail off. Got that from my parents. But when it comes to mental toughness, when it comes to mindset, when it comes to working on my mindset, it's a totally different work ethic. And I'm learning, and if I'm going to embrace my purpose and embrace the legacy God has for me and my family, I got to be diligent and consistent in growing in my mindset, my vision, how I see myself, how I see my family. Where am I leading as the man and the leader of my household? Where am I leading my family? You got to be serious about that. And to you men, you got to be serious about where you're leading your wife, where you lead, what are you teaching your kids? It don't start with telling them things. It starts with, what are you doing? What am I doing? So I strive to consistently go after the vision that God placed in my heart, because I want my kids, I want my boys to do the same thing. My future daughters, I want them to do the same thing. But I want them to see it manifest in my life. I'm not just going to talk about it and have them, they say the worst leader is the leader that always wants you to follow his finger. You know, he pointing in a direction and wants you to go that way, but he ain't been that way. I don't want to be that type of leader. So 2021, y'all, let's break free from complacency. Thank you again for supporting. Again, get the book, Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking. Again, please, on Barnes & Nobles. And thank God y'all is going to be in the local stores over here. I stay near Altamont Barnes & Nobles over in Florida. It's going to be in that Barnes & Noble. It's a blessing. Y'all don't know how hard it is to get a book out there, y'all. By the grace of God, I got it out there. I should have documented. But trying to market a book and get your book in the stores and getting in the hands of people, it's a totally different grind than writing the book. I was so excited I wrote it. Now I'm finding that, man, to get it in stores is a totally different challenge. But thank God, I know God blessed me with the anointing and the favor to write the book. So God opened up a door so I can get my book in Barnes & Nobles. I'm excited about that. I'm going to make a video once the books come in. But thank you guys for y'all support. I really appreciate it. And I pray those of you who have the book that is blessing y'all. Because again, these are things that I wish I would have known or would have applied to my life years ago. So thank you guys. Have yourself an awesome Friday. And I'll see y'all next week.